Hello, and welcome back to Billy Ho Sports, another Breeders' Cup Classic Contenders series. Time to update that classic. In today's profile, I'm going to put the spotlight on trainer Todd Pletcher and his two main contenders. One is Forte, and the other you may need to know, Bright Future. So the mission for us today is to look into the details of the races, like the ones Forte ran in, Travers and Belmont, and a couple of races for Bright Future, including the Jockey Club Gold Cup. So stay tuned as we unravel these two performances and see what their chances are of one of these two Todd Pletcher studs to win the elusive Breeders' Cup Classic. Also, be on the lookout for more Breeders' Cup content coming down the pike. We're going to start to get into some of the other huge races like the Distaff and the Breeders' Cup Turf and on down the line. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Very much appreciated. Smash that like button too. Leave me a comment and let's get this thing started. Okay, so Todd Pletcher has 14 Breeders' Cup wins to his credit in his Hall of Fame career, but just one single victory in the Classic 2019 Vino Rosa. So the future does shine brilliantly for this rapidly ascending colt, Bright Future. His big win in the prestigious Jockey Club Gold Cup during the closing weekend of the Saratoga meet has propelled him into the mix of contenders for the Cup's Classic big race. So Bright Future's journey begins with his debut victory back in March of 2022 at Gulfstream. But just after one more race in that 3-year-old campaign, he was put on the shelf for nearly 10 months before returning as a 4-year-old. So after a resounding victory in an allowance company race on the Florida Derby undercard at Gulfstream earlier this spring, Bright Future appeared to be ready to roll. Now, he did face a couple of setbacks along the way since then, but his journey took an emphatic turn on July 21st when he delivered a dominant performance in this allowance race that I'm showing you at Saratoga. His early pressing type style is perfect for most of these classic type races, as he can be up near the leaders and still track as a second or third flight horse. So his next outing was the unforgettable win in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, doing much the same, where he was able to hold off a late charging Proxy in a thrilling nose-to-nose finish. This was the win that punched Bright Future's ticket into the Breeders' Cup Classic, and I think he'll offer some good value if you still think this horse is improving. Now, the other horse, the one you probably much more familiar with, Forte, is the 2-year-old champion colt who embodies the roller coaster of high-level stakes racing competition. So he wins the Breeders' Cup Juvenile back last fall. All the rage, horse of the year, Derby Trail, comes out, dominates basically Florida, winning the Fountain of Youth and the Florida Derby. And but then his dreams of competing in the Kentucky Derby, an ill-timed injury prevented that from happening. It also kept him out of the second leg, the Preakness. But nevertheless, Forte's journey has been nothing short of sensational. From 2-year-old champ to potential Derby favorite, like I said, with the wins in Florida, the Grade 2, Grade 1, and despite even scratching as the Kentucky Derby favorite, Forte made a resilient comeback in the Belmont, finishing a gritty runner-up in the Belmont in June, continuing to captivate. Obviously, he runs hard. The Jim Dandy is the race we know of where he had the traffic trouble and with Angel of Empire and ended up, foul or no foul, however you feel about that, wins that race. Then comes back, and I'd say a somewhat challenging to disappointing 4th place finish at the Travers. And this is the one we need to look closely at, August 26th. We can see, he looks fine. He goes like in the Belmont, he was his first race back and he just got going too late. The Jim Dandy had all the controversy, but the Travers broke just fine, was able to save ground early coming out of the one post. Then he secured his normal mid to late pack running style, tracks it all the way into the final turn, and he does get a bit wide into the stretch there, but has no shot to catch Arcangelo, and that's twice. So what I can glean from this, looking at some of his races, is I think he needs a bit of a faster pace. Horses like Arcangelo aren't going to tire late down the pace when it's reasonable. I think it's more of like a 46 half mile than a 48. We've been seeing a lot of 48 half miles in these summer stakes races. And for a late charger like Forte, against a good horse, it's just hard to do. So that's going to do it for the preview for these two epic contenders for the Breeders' Cup Classic. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and I appreciate you supporting the channel. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Thank you.